Last time, things blew up. Xiaoling finally confronted Jieming about the secret loan, the hidden struggles, and the weight she'd been carrying all alone. The fight was explosive, leaving their marriage hanging by a thread. Jieming, shocked and cornered, had walked out, leaving Xiaoling heartbroken amidst the wreckage of their life. The future looked bleak, and we were all left wondering if this was the end for them. Now, let's dive into what happened next. The silence in the apartment was deafening after Jieming left. Xiaoling sat on the couch, the same spot where they had their explosive fight just hours before. The anger had drained away, leaving behind a hollow ache of exhaustion and despair. Every corner of their home, once a symbol of their shared dreams, and now felt like a monument to their failures. She looked at the framed photo on the side table, a smiling picture from their wedding day. They looked so young, so full of hope, completely unaware of the storm that was brewing just a few years down the line. A single tear traced the path down her cheek. Was that happy couple gone forever? Meanwhile, Jieming was driving aimlessly through the city streets. The angry words from their fight echoed in his head. Xiaoling's accusations, her pain, her raw desperation, he couldn't escape them. He'd been so focused on being the provider, on fixing things his way, that he'd completely missed how much she was suffering. He thought he was protecting her by hiding the truth about the loan, but he had only managed to build a wall between them. The shame was suffocating. He pulled over by the side of the road, the city lights blurring through his tear-filled eyes. He had messed up badly. Hadn't he just broken a promise? He had broken her trust, and maybe, just maybe, their marriage along with it. After hours of driving, with the first light of dawn painting the sky, Jieming knew what he had to do. He couldn't let pride destroy the most important thing in his life. He drove back home, his heart pounding with a mix of fear and resolve. He found Xiaoling asleep on the couch, her face pale and stained with tears. A blanket was haphazardly thrown over her. Seeing her like that, so fragile and worn out, shattered what was left of his defenses. He knelt beside her, his hand trembling as he gently brushed a strand of hair from her face. She stirred, her eyes fluttering open when she saw him. Her expression was a guarded mix of surprise and hurt. The air was thick with unspoken words. Jieming took a deep breath, and the apology he'd been rehearsing in his head all night came pouring out, raw and unfiltered. He told her how sorry he was. Sorry for lying. Sorry for shutting her out. Sorry for making her feel like she was carrying the weight of the world on her own. He admitted his pride and his fear had blinded him. He wasn't just apologizing for the loan. He was apologizing for every secret, every moment he made her feel alone in their partnership. Xiaoling listened, her guard slowly coming down as she heard the genuine remorse in his voice. This was the Jieming she had fallen in love with, the one who wasn't afraid to be vulnerable. Her own tears started to fall again, but this time, they weren't tears of anger or despair. They were tears of relief. She told him how scared she'd been, how isolated she'd felt. They talked for hours, not as adversaries, but as partners again. They laid all their fears and resentments out in the open. And in that raw, honest conversation, they made a new promise to each other, a promise that was more important than any wedding vow. No more secrets, ever. From now on, they would face every problem, every bill, every fear together, as a team. It felt like a fresh start, a true turning point. With this newfound commitment, they started to rebuild. They sat down and created a new plan, one that didn't put all the pressure on one person. They decided to share the responsibility of caring for their parents, not just financially, but emotionally and physically too. The plan was simple but revolutionary for them. Xiaoling decided to talk to her boss and reduce her working hours. She'd work a 4-day week, giving her more time to help care for her mother and Jieming as father without completely burning out. To balance this, Jieming made a tough call. He met with his own clients and explained the situation, choosing to take on fewer big projects for the next few months. It meant less income, But it also meant more time for him to be present, to help with his father, and to support Xiaoling. It was a trade-off. But for the first time, it felt like a choice they were making together for the health of their family and their marriage. Their families were surprisingly supportive. Xiaoling's sister offered to take their mother to her weekday appointments, and Jieming's brother agreed to stay with their father 2 nights a week. It was as if their own crisis had a ripple effect, reminding everyone that they were all in this together. The burden, once so heavy, now felt lighter, shared across many shoulders. For a few weeks, life was peaceful. It was a strange and wonderful feeling. Jieming and Xiaoling rediscovered the simple joys of their life together. They cooked dinner together, took walks in the evening, and actually talked, really talked, about their day, about their worries, about their dreams. The constant tension that had filled their apartment for months finally disappeared, replaced by a quiet sense of calm and contentment. It felt like they had weathered the worst of the storm and had finally reached a safe harbor. They had saved their marriage. They were a team again. It seemed like they could handle anything. But while their emotional world was healing, their financial reality was about to come crashing down on them. The reduced work hours and fewer projects meant their income had dropped significantly. At the same time, the medical expenses were doing the opposite. Jieming's father needed a new medication that wasn't fully covered by insurance, and Xiaoling's mother required more frequent physical therapy sessions. The bills started piling up. Small at first, then growing into an avalanche. They were using their savings to plug the gaps, watching with growing anxiety as their emergency fund dwindled to almost nothing. The breaking point came on a Tuesday afternoon. Xiaoling was at home, enjoying a rare quiet moment, when her phone rang. It was an unknown number. She answered, and a formal voice on the other end introduced himself as being from their bank. His tone was polite but firm. He was calling about their condo. He informed her that their mortgage payment was overdue, not just by 1 month, but by 2. Xiaoling's blood ran cold. 2 months. How was that possible? She stammered, trying to explain, but the words wouldn't come. The man on the phone continued, explaining the consequences of falling further behind: late fees, credit score damage, and eventually, foreclosure proceedings. Foreclosure. The word hit her like a physical blow. Their home, the foundation of their life together. She hung up the phone, her hand shaking. Jieming walked in a few moments. Later, a tired smile on his face after a long day. The smile vanished when he saw her expression. What is it? What's wrong? He asked, his voice filled with concern. Xiaoling just held up the phone, unable to speak. The calm they had worked so hard to build had just been shattered. They had managed to save their marriage from imploding, but in doing so, they had steered their lives straight into a financial iceberg. Their relationship was finally on solid ground, but their entire world was on the verge of collapsing. The storm wasn't over. It had just changed direction. So what happens now? They've fixed their relationship, but their finances are in ruins. The threat of losing their home is real and terrifying. Can their newfound partnership withstand this new crisis? Or will the pressure be too much? Make sure you subscribed and have notifications turned on, because you will not want to miss what happens next in episode 11. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.